It's episode 32. In this episode, we will look at some highlights from the last couple of weeks, some bike news, and then we'll dive into this week's big question. Is zero beer cool? Check and... I'm parched there.
Yeah, that's it. Parched.
Check and try.
Maybe we could have a wee drink later on. Yeah.
Tempting.
Yes, aye. So it's the Biker Brews week this week.
Biker Brews week, which I'll just cut straight into bottom of the week because it's kind of...
Yep.
fitting for
I like it
for brew time or bikers brew whatever that is. Right, ready?
I hear you, brother.
Okay, Sterling, out the car.
All right, Sterling, out the car. What a great.
Which for nobody of a certain age,
yeah, or of a certain nationality.
A certain nationality is not going to get that. So
nice one.
If no, check out the Super Cop, Scotch and Rye.
Ricky Fulton. Yeah. God bless him. Right, what have we got? Check-in time. What am I checking in with this week? I've been out on several different bikes this week. Well, two actually.
Several?
And they're actually, well, you've seen the video. We put the video up of me having a wee scooting about in John's bobber. Giving it a good run down to A and everything. So we've got that wee video out and that was good fun. But I also was working in the office on Friday there, last Friday, because it was our yearly Star Awards.
Oh, hello.
The Star Awards. But of course, with it being a public company, there's no parties and all that.
You just get a round of applause.
Round of applause. But the team I'm in won our awards.
Oh,
so,
nice one.
Very good. You don't get anything, of course, but at least you get the...
If I knew exactly where the button was, I would dig in the button.
Anyone, just go for it. No. Hey!
That one.
The white is right. The white is right. So we did that. So I managed to take Maverick out.
Nice.
A wee spin into Glasgow and back for the joy of it. It was a bit mucky going in the morning, but a pretty decent pleasure going back.
Did you keep Maverick out the
Danger zone?
Hey, go get that.
Nice one. I did, but no out the mud. Nice one. Pretty mucky. So currently, poor thing sitting in the shed, absolutely mock it because there was nowhere.
But Maverick's belt driven.
Aye, Maverick's belt driven, so that's all right.
So it's not that bad.
It's not too bad. And it was just mud. There was no salt or anything on the road, so just give it a good wash.
That's good.
And then I'll be popping down to maybe give Abigail a good ride soon, I think so.
The bike,
yes, absolutely. So there we go. So from a bike's point of view, check-in time, that's been good. I am closer and closer to looking at maybe doing my Spice Girls soon. I'll wait till the weather's. I think the weather's going to get a bit better the next few weeks, so hopefully the two of us will get to go to a few different places and see what kind of...
A couple of wee joints, a couple of different shoes.
I did. I was up in Cooper last week.
Ooh.
I didn't pop into the guys at Cooper Motorcycles, but I did get a wee bit emotional. I got a wee bit emotional because that's when I got my first bike. That's when I bought my first big bike. That's when I bought my GSXF 600 on my big banana bike.
What colour was it?
It was fun enough. It was black yellow. The bat bike, so that was the original bat bike. Was from there. So I mean, to be fair, if it wasn't for the fact I was with the rest of the family, I'd have been in that place like a shop having a wee shop wandering around. But we were on our way to other places to drink whiskey and enjoy ourselves. So
nice.
All very good. So when I wasn't driving, I was drinking whiskey. But of course, in this week's episode, we should be able to ride and imbibe. What about yourself, Dan?
Bike wise, I was the same as you. I've had the bike in a few days and actually into the office for a change, which you forget just how much fun commuting is. You can't beat a good rush hour traffic, and then you suddenly get home, and regardless of whether it's absolutely torrential or not, you do get home and go, God, I love my bike.
Yeah.
If there's a surefire way to fall in love with a bike, hit rush hour traffic, and you just
rush
through
hour
the
traffic.
Beat rush hour traffic.
Yeah.
So that's been quite good. Also, I got the Dawn Performance done on the Pan America.
Everybody's been looking at the socials. We'll see the wee snippets of that.
Which again, it's like a completely different bike. It's such a good thing.
So if I was a shovel, what would come off it so quickly with the Dawn Performance on? Shingus off a shovel.
It definitely does get an absolute boost in power, but it smooths it out. It really does smooth it out. also Nicola got her Nightster done with the Dawn Performance, and wow,
Yeah.
that's quite impressive.
Aye.
It takes the fun zone of the Nightster's like about 5,500 revs,
Right.
and then that 975 ignites. With the Dawn Performance on it takes it down to about 3. It's just so much fun.
I mean, if I go through and it's not viable for me to change the bikes, I might get rid of Abigail and use some of that.
Honestly, the Dawns,
To put the Dawn on it,
and it's not that they can set it up. They can set it up so that it's like mid and top range, so that it's not like insanity in the lower end, which is quite good because you don't really, especially on that thing on Maverick, you don't need any more power in the low range. It's
it's
nuts.
just nuts, isn't it?
So you would definitely feel the benefit up the top end.
Because a big shout out to West Coast as well. I popped into West Coast last week, I think it was, and I was just taking a bike out for a spin. Popped in to grab a coffee, Maverick, and got a wee warning light. As per usual, warning light. And when I turned it back on, there was a kind of funny thing with the road mode. It was saying it couldn't detect the road, what mode I was in for road and road
right.
and everything. So I said to Keith there, and he came out and took it away and checked it over for me and everything, and did all the software upgrades. And it's just with the software upgrades, different bike.
Aye,
different bike.
It's surprising just how much when you get
What a
software update,
difference,
you go.
but you forget when you've got an older bike, or when you're used to, analog bikes, for a better word, when you get these bikes that are all electric, you forget how important it is to get your bike checked in and
Get service up there, get the software updates done on it. No, absolutely.
So a big shout and a big thanks to.
We're going. Me and Nicola are going to do a bit for West Coast, just on the Dawn Performance. Probably, once we've had a good few runs in the dry.
Cool.
And we've got a bit. Well, see, more so Nicola's got a bit used to it because I've obviously done a fair bit of riding since I got mine done.
Sure.
So that's quite cool. The other thing is, when obviously we're recording this during the week, but this weekend coming up, end of February. You guys will obviously be listening to that hopefully before that point.
Yep.
The West Coast guys are doing their Adventure Day thing again.
So they are. So that's right, yes.
All of us adventure drivers or riders are getting to go on a wee jolly.
So they just take you off-road. You're not going off-road, but it's kind of dirt tracky type.
Aye, I think they're doing the same route as they did last year, which is quite cool. It's quite a good route, and actually it'll probably be slightly different because last year the road was closed. That back road into Largs.
That's right.
Back
So it was, that's right, yeah.
That was closed for whatever reason. I don't know, it was a flood or a landslide or something. So we'll probably end up going across that, which is a great bit of road.
Nice.
And then we'll hit that wee cafe and they can do a wee bit off road up there.
Oh, lovely, my lover.
So that is
that'd be nice.
That's my check-in. That is.
Nice,
that's my check-in.
So we are videoing this podcast at the moment as well. So at some point will be some
because
video edits.
We are actually both in the cave.
We are both. Yeah, we'll probably Mark being in the cave with some audio visual extravaganza. And also, you'll be able to see our facial expressions if and when we do or do not like these liquid delights that we have in front of us.
Aye, you definitely can't hide it.
No, absolutely not.
And we'll talk more about that.
We'll talk about that during our big question, our big imbibe question. But
we should call it the big libation.
Yeah, one of the beers that we're looking at, my brother has ruined for me.
Has he?
But I'll explain that when we get to that one.
There we go. That's good. All right, nice.
There we go.
All right, cool,
nice one.
Check in done. Now, moving on, or before we move on to news and all our usual rigmarole. We've obviously covered Button of the Week, but we used to do, or we went through a little spell of kind of doing top tens.
We did, yes, and we were talking about maybe doing a couple of tens in the top.
Well, I thought it's about time we bring back a kind of top 10, but I had so many for this that I actually made the top 13 because 13 is my lucky number.
But Warwick Davis would be very, very disappointed because that is just not tenable.
Oh, that is so bad. I'm not even rim shotting. That is so bad.
I'm not even making a comment on rim shotting. For that one.
Rim shotting and Warwick Davis in the same
sentence. Warwick, if you're listening, I'm sorry that we've got 13 and not 10.
Yes, my apology.
I don't think he does it anymore, does he?
No, is that stopped?
That's what stopped.
That's stopped.
Oh, you're no filming, are you?
No, why'd that stop?
I don't know. Because you've
started again.
It says saving now. Saving. So if it says saving, that means that you've just stopped it for recording. Yeah?
Oh.
The tube.
It didn't look like it was recording.
Right, next time I'll just tap the back.
Is it recording now?
Is it recording now? Now it just says saving again. Saving, right.
There's definitely something not happening on that.
There is something definitely not happening in it. Everything looks fine. You've got charge, you're plugged in, you've got all that, you're auto wide, and that's just you, that's not even the camera. Hit record, right? It's not liking it, mate. It's not liking something.
That's not good.
It's not good.
Right.
It's not good.
That is not good.
We have alternatives.
Right.
Screw this bad boy in. Right.
Screw that bad boy in.
There we go. Right. Says me, who's probably not even put a bloody memory card in it. Nope. Switch a memory card over you in case it's a memory card.
I wonder if it is the memory card.
We will find out. While we're doing that, we do have your top 13.
Top 13. I know it's a weird number, but it is my lucky number, so we're going to do top 13.
We've got 3 cameras set up, so to be fair, you're probably watching this in widescreen while we're doing this.
Probably watching it in multiple screens.
Multiple screens, that's it.
Wait a minute, I need to think about that. Right, on you go. Top 13.
Top 13.
You can do the first 5. How's that?
But we've not even told our listeners what the top 13 is.
Oh, no, we haven't.
It's just a top. I'm just going to give you the top 13. In 13th place is chocolate. In 12th place is shoes. In 11th place is pine trees.
That would be random.
What's that, top 13 of? It's just a top 13.
Top 13? Why do you know what the top 13's for?
Top 13 in Glasgow, well, there's 13 Tuckey Street, there's 13 Dumbarton Road, there's
13 Blythewood Square.
That's top and bottom, that one. So, for those that don't know, Blythewood Square used to be where the women of the night hung about in Glasgow before they moved into Anderson bus station.
Women of the night.
There we go. So, so it's a prog rock situation here. That'll not go in because it's the wrong camera. It just flips out. They just flip out, wee man. That's it, like. Flip out my flaps.
Oh, aye.
Yes.
Oh, that's fancy.
That's built-in flaps.
Fancy.
Built-in flaps. That's what happens when you go for a 70 or 10.
Built-in flaps.
And just think what number 13 is going to be like when they bring it out.
Woo-hoo. See, I'm maybe tempted to buy that one because it is 13.
Yeah.
But then again, I might know. Anyway, the top 13 that we're going to talk about is alternative uses for WD-40.
Oh, it's the lubrication station here. That's what it is. Although it's not really a lubricant, is it? I don't know. I've certainly never used it as a lubricant. So the top 13 WD-40 alternatives, because you know the old saying, if it moves and it shouldn't, you use gaffer tape, and if it shouldn't and it should, you use WD-40. And that's you. Jobby is a good one. Do you know what I mean? And if your jobby moves and it shouldn't, then you've had too much coffee. So, you know what I mean?
I've had them moments.
Absolutely. So, in 13... And this is alternative uses for WD-40. I think I've just told the whole listeners. Away and bite your bahookie. Oh, you've put the wrong blooming. This is just like embarrassing now. Here we go. Pop this wee bad boy in. Here is an Extreme Pro 400 gigabyte memory card.
I can edit all this out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we can cut a lot of this crap out, so it's fine.
Or we could just leave it in for the listeners' pure amusement.
I know, absolutely. But it's not quite Goggle Bikers. I do believe we have had a request to do another Goggle Bikers from one of our fans, one of our listeners.
Might as well shoot it. Yeah. You can open. I can't open that.
I can't open it. You're hopeless.
See, that's why I never bought a 10. I couldn't open the flaps.
Oh, it's a grey one. That's why.
Oh, is it?
It's got to be gold or black. Yeah.
Black and gold.
Gold or black. Black and gold.
I think my black and gold one's in my 360, which is lying about somewhere.
Right, let's have a look at this.
Oh,
here we go. You want these shoes?
That's like the future, that is.
I don't want photo. Video. There we go. It says, do you want to do basic? It's like, you're basic. You're basic.
Is it got enough juice in it to run for the...
Aye, I totally charged it up. Indoor, 4K, totally 24 wide. There we go. Totally pure charged it up, man. So I did. Right, so alternative uses for WD-40 as opposed to alternatives for WD-40, which I think I may have said.
Yes, this is alternative uses for WD-40.
Yeah, alternative uses for WD-40. So in 13, it helps loosen barnacles off a hull. Here we go. Because if there's something I always want to do is shift my barnacles, mate. Do you know what I mean? You know, I look at my blue and gold
that's
can
that's
and I
not
go,
euphemism, by the way.
I want to shift my barnacles. That's it. And number 12. Now this is useful. It will help you clean acoustic guitar strings.
Yes, that is useful.
That's
I'll
very
do
good.
that.
Yes, that's nice. And in number 11, and this is very useful.
This is your
for,
favourite.
for me. This is my favourite. This is pull apart your bricks, your Lego bricks, or as they say in America, and it infuriates me beyond belief. Pull apart your Legos.
Is that what they say?
No, they say Legos now. If we've got any Americans listening, I appreciate that that's what you've been brought up with, and it's called Legos. But it is Lego bricks. Yeah, it's not Legos.
Is that the same though for the little tiny thin ones? Is it still a Lego brick?
They're all Lego
bricks. It's more of a slab.
It's more of a kind of Lego
slab.
Yeah.
Rather than a brick.
Pluck. It's a Lego pluck. It's a wee round ones. So a wee Lego pluck. But no, it's just Lego bricks. That's the plural for Lego.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So you got a piece of Lego. Yeah. Or you get several pieces of Lego. No S. It's like sheep, 1 sheep, 2 sheep.
Oh, is
3
it?
sheep, 4 sheeps.
Ah.
Right. But it's Lego bricks. Here we go. I digress somewhat, but hey ho.
Yes.
If I can't digress, then what can I die? That's what I say.
Yeah.
There we go. That's number 13, 12, 11. What about number 10? Yep.
Get a stuck ring off.
Get a stuck ring off your.
We really had to read that to be doubly careful. We got that right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yes. If you liked it and you had to take the ring off it, WD-40.
I mean, to be fair, if you've got your finger stuck in a ring, then you know you'll try anything. Rim shot. So.
As opposed to ring shot.
Exactly. There we go.
Number 9, remove stains from tile, floor or carpet, including crayon off of walls as well, by the way.
And we've been talking about crayons previously.
Any parents, grandparents, whoever.
We did remove those crayons. So
well, it also shifts your barnacles, so it might actually do that.
Yep.
Number 8, cleans piano keys.
Was that Ebony and Ivory and WD-40 working together in perfect harmony?
Exactly.
Yeah, nice one.
Number 7, splinter-free wood tools, which sounds weird, but if you spray the handles of wooden tools with WD-40, stops them drying out and cracking.
All right, and it makes them cracking.
Hey!
Thank you. Number 6, it's an artificial plant shiner. Wow, little shiny leaves. Yes,
shiny
WD-40 gives your artificial plants that new healthy look. From plastic to fantastic.
I'll give you that.
There we go, yeah. This is quite interesting. It prevents wasps from building nests. Now, in my old shed before it got ripped in, there was a plethora of wasps, and every year they'd come back and build their nests, and I never knew anything about that. If I'd known that, I'd have been spraying it everywhere and stopping the wee buggers from.
Is that why you pulled it down rather than just get rid of it? You thought, I'll sort them out. I'll just pull that shit.
They just dying. It was just dying. It lasted as long as it lasted. Spray a coat on places that you've had wasps building before, and they won't come back because it's too slippy.
Slippery one.
Nice one.
Coated.
Give us number 4.
Helps keep mud off your boots. So walking boots, football boots, riding boots, any kind of boots that are attracted to mud, get a coat of WD-40. Stops the mud getting on them.
Oh,
genius.
I never knew anything about that.
Right, we're into the last 3. So number 3, you can waterproof your shoes with a coat of WD-40.
Which is kind of, I suppose, a natural progression from getting the mud off your boots and then you
make them water
repellent. Nice one. Lovely. Number 2.
Go for it.
Glue for 2 with the removal of glue on surfaces and on your skin. Does that include super glue?
Oh, I don't know, but I'm tempted to try that.
Well, I would maybe try it.
I'd maybe not glue. I'm not going to get and glue my hands together just to see if it works. You know what I mean? But next time I'm gluing something, you're always bound, especially the tiny things that you know what I mean?
Wee fiddly bits.
Aye. You always end up with it on your hands and then it gets all there. So, right, and Ian, drum roll. It's a super soda stream. Go for it.
And Bowley's special prize, number one. It's a great cleaner for stainless steel, counters and cooker hubs. Cooker hubs.
That one I've heard before. Cleaning stainless steel.
Well, I use it. I clean all the metal on your bike. Where you can do all that.
I think I see a cutlery. It's like
that's a right funny way. I keep a meatball the night into it.
Aye, and plus it's a good dieting tip because then all your chips slide off your fork.
Aye, they slide right through. But you can eat your chips, but they slide right through you before they get digested and come out the other end.
No more crayons. Just don't eat them. More barnacles.
Eat them lengthways. Don't eat them sideways so they don't stick in the way down. Here we go. There you go. The top 13 alternate uses for a WD-40 for Yorkshire.
Right, WD-40 from Yorkshire.
Yorkshire.
Right, we'll get back onto some normality.
Let's get back on the track.
Hello, it's now time for the news. And they're no colour coded, so I'm going to go first.
You go first. Go for it.
New Ninja 400. So Kawasaki have announced that later this year they will launch a new Ninja ZX 4R. This new sports bike will join the list of already established Ninjas. The new bike is believed to be taking aspects of its bigger brother.
Yep.
So it's going to have a similar look and feel.
2 wheels, saddle,
handlebars, green.
There we go.
But yeah, so for example, the high tensile steel chassis is borrowed from the ZX25R. The upside down piston forks and the rear monoshock are the same that's used in the 10R, and the rear swing arm is very, very similar to that that's in the Ninja 650.
So did they just have like extra bits for all these other bikes and just went, do you know what, we'll just stick with girls, see what we get?
Do you know what, but it's one way to keep down cost. Because they don't need to do any more of that dev work. So it's almost like Kawasaki are taking that Lego approach. We've got all these bricks lying about, we're just going to stick them on a girl and see what we get. And there you go, a nice wee Ninja 4R. Again, the styling is typically Ninja, and at a glance you would really struggle to see whether that's a
and I think Kawasaki do their Ninjas really well in the sense of how they look, because even like the wee 125s Ninjas, they look bigger and they look great on the road. You really do have to know what you're looking at to realise that it's no.
It's not until you get into it's not until you get to the 1000 and the H2 that they do look. Everything else in between that looks very, very, very similar, and
they look great.
Nicholas Ninja 650 was such a wee bike to ride. It was so much fun. It was just too wee for my fat arse. The bike will be powered by a 4-cylinder 399cc engine, which will put out about 78 brake horsepower, but it revs right up to about the 15,000 RPM mark.
And that is the thing about the smaller bikes. They do have a higher rev, don't they? And make that.
So you can get fun at them.
They're great fun. They sound brilliant.
The engine also comes with a RAM air system. Now, I didn't go googling too much into what RAM air meant, because
definitely don't Google that in your works computer.
No, definitely don't Google that in your works computer. But Kawasaki intend to give you 3 flavours: the 4R, the SE, and the RR.
What does RR stand for? Raspberry Ripple.
It's the pirate version. RR. The SE gets the optional race team paint job, which everybody knows is the black and green with the red kind of stripy thing through it.
Which is gorgeous. I really do like it.
It gets the up and down quick shifter, smoke screen, USB socket and frame sliders. The RR gets the upgraded shifter and blipper. It also comes with RR graphics, the Showa Superbike light shot that's in it as well to cut the weight down. All very nice. Good wee addition for the 400 market.
Yep.
I can't think of anything else that would sit in that 400 market really. Royal Enfield's got a couple, but not that style.
Not that style, because you're not sports bikey, really.
No, I don't think Honda have got anything that.
The 500 is their kind of one they're punting at the moment, isn't it?
Aye.
That's the closest you're going to get. I mean, I like that Honda 500 the one they're doing. I think it's beautiful, but
the Scrambler. The Scrambler one. That's quite nice.
It's nice, I do like it, but
otherwise don't put 1,000 engine in it anyway, or the 1100 that they have.
It does look crang. I think if it would be a great wee bike to a commuting bike, a brilliant commuting bike for just
or if you really wanted to get and hammer it around, would you call it? The bike should be out in autumn, and again expected to be around about the £6,000-ish mark.
Which, especially if you're starting, if you're not that, it's just one of your first
because
bikes.
That's a perfect day 2 bike.
Aye, absolutely.
Perfect day 2 bike.
Yeah. If that's what you're looking for, younger, you want a sports look, then definitely.
What's
nice
next?
one. Yeah, it's lovely. Next up, we've got the long arm and 3 wheels of the law.
Oh, like we did that.
Yeah, aye.
Great colour.
I know, it's very clever. Whoever wrote this is a genius. Right? Northampton Police have a new fleet of automotive crime-fighting vehicles. The WMC 300 FR.
Doesn't it roll off the tongue like
It
the
doesn't
Batmobile,
really,
does it?
No,
I
it
mean,
doesn't. The Batmobile, the WMC 300
exactly.
FR, sorry, yeah. Is a 3-wheeled hybrid motorbike that has been designed and built by White Motorcycles Concept, hence the WMC. Yep. They have designed their vehicle around the Yamaha Tricity 300, which starts life as a 292cc 4-stroke trike, and to top box from aerospace carbon fibre, and in this top box houses two 56 volt 12 amp hour detachable lithium ion batteries that provide drive below 30 miles per hour.
That's clever.
Yes.
Take a top box, turn it electric.
Yeah. And so below 30 miles an hour.
That's so they can sneak up on criminals.
Yeah.
Put it into
stealth mode.
Stealth mode.
I mean, okay, I've got a big blue flashing light, a siren, and I'm white, and I've got reflective surfaces, but I'm in stealth mode.
But they'll not hear you coming.
They'll not hear you
Do you know what I
coming.
mean?
Exactly. So here's hoping that they've got some sort of sight impairment. We'll be okay. We'll catch them.
As opposed to turning up in a Panda.
The top box is designed with all aerodynamics in mind, so that while pushing air around the vehicle more smoothly, actually reduces drag by a claimed 50%. A fleet of 8 are now deployed in Northampton, with WMC building a further 12 for another constabulary.
Cheers.
Yes. Northampton Police have said, we're not intimidating, we're not scary people, and we want people to come and talk to us. It's essentially a free icebreaker for our officers.
It's an icebreaker, all right.
Aye.
But it's not classic, just to, obviously, at the end of it, we'll put pictures up, but at the end of it's listening on the podcast, won't know. They'll just assume it's 2 wheels at the back, 1 at the front. It's no.
2 wheels at front.
It's like the Can-Am. It's 2 wheels at the front, 1 wheel at the back.
Now, if you've been watching, if you're a movie fan, one of the big trailers that have been out recently is the new Flash movie. I don't know if you've caught that trailer
no,
yet.
I haven't seen that yet.
But for a Flash, for the movie called The Flash, it features an awful lot of Batman in it, right? And there's one scene where Batman's riding the Batbike, and the Batbike is a 2 wheels at the front, 1 wheel at the back type thing.
Is that Can-Am, do you think?
I think
It's a
so.
Spider.
Aye. So and it looks, and it's it's obviously kind of bastardised from that, and it looks brilliant, and it's fleeing through the streets of Gotham City / Glasgow, right? Looking quite cool. Right? It looks nothing like this. No. Yeah.
It's like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a spider.
I want to be a Batbike.
Just talking about the Can-Am Spider Batbike, we do have a listener who has recently purchased a Can-Am Spider Batbike.
Ooh.
It's not the Batbike, but it's a Can-Am Spider. And he's agreed to let us see it and do a little walk around, and then he'll give his own personal review and how good it is and stuff. So that'll be quite cool. So watch the space.
It'll be interesting to see it
Yes.
in the FLESH. You know what I mean? So it's definitely a nice novel idea they've got for keeping the Bobby out on patrol and engaging with the public, even if it is just idle curiosity. The picture we've got of it, right? I think probably, I don't know if it's the angle, but it looks awful tubby rather than long. Do you know what I mean? Tubby. Aye. So it looks more like, it looks, rather than look like a motorbike where you've put in an extra wheel in the front, it looks like a quad bike where you've taken a wheel off the back.
Aye, that's
Probably.
I know what you mean.
It's kind of chunkier looking than maybe a longer bike. Do you know what I mean? Like there's the 3-wheeled kind of ones that scoot about. They're kind of like the scooters, but the 3-wheeled ones. So it's no Piaggio, is it? But it's that type.
Aye.
Anyway, but they're a bit longer. This is definitely a chubby wee thing.
This is more like a Nicken. This is more like a Yamaha Nicken.
Aye. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? In terms of the 2 front wheels are relatively close together. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's what gives it the kind of stumpy look.
Yeah. So
there you go.
There we go. That's it. So it's quite a interesting looking wee thing.
If you get arrested in one of them in Northampton, you're just not taking it seriously, are you? You're just going to giggle.
You're just going to be like, oh, just take it, man. It's brilliant. I feel love that. Here's the diamonds back. It's all right.
This is nice catching end with diamonds. Up next, we've got a fighter pilot heads-up display.
Ooh.
Danger Zone.
Nice.
I almost hit the wrong button there. A Swiss company called Aegeus Rider have been working on a heads-up display that uses augmented reality to give you key information in your lid.
Aegeus Rider, that sounds a bit like a Eurovision singer, doesn't it?
Aegeus Rider.
And for Croatia, we have Aegeus Rider up with Lovers All Around.
It's a bolt-on accessory. It's set to go into production later this year and it's currently being put through its paces by a number of testers, which I did try to get signed up for, but you need to live in Switzerland, Germany or somewhere else, which wasn't the UK.
Yeah, so
and
it's not quite went through.
I didn't fancy moving just for the sake of it. However, had they bring it to the UK, I would quite happily test it for them for free.
Yep.
The kit will have a sensor and a computer pack that attaches to the chin area, detachable optics for the visor, and a battery pack which clips onto the back.
So it'll not be bulky then?
No, actually, see when you see it, it's not overly bulky. Because that was my first thought was, you know,
That's an awful lot of
you were going to have
additional hardware
the big,
hanging about.
You know, the big square batteries you used to get. No, the wee,
the big ones.
huge
Aye, as a
like
child,
6 or aim strapped to your helmet and be like, you know what I mean, breaking your neck, try to keep it up. But partnered with the Aegeus Rider companion app, you can get obviously your speed, your RPM, your gear, your nav, and your warnings. Okay.
Yep.
So what separates this system is that the info actually appears on the road rather than on the actual right in front of you.
Right.
So you know how some of them now, like the Fortnite one, is like. It's like little lights on the kind of inside of the rim of the helmet, almost at the chin bar. This thing actually projects it on front of you, so you don't need to take your eyes off the road to actually use it, which is that's
cool.
the bit that's quite cool.
That's the kind of fighter pilot bit.
Aye, so it's no having to refocus, you mean, on that and then on the road and then on that and then on the road. Now, Aegeus call this road anchor guides, which sounds quite impressive. It does. The navigation element will also show the direction of travel.
Mind you, if it was a BMW driver, then it would be road guides.
Oh, totally. And just we'll go off piste in a second on that one. I'm coming back to that one because I'm not letting that lie. But the navigation element will show the direction of travel, the distance to turn, or the bend as its oncoming road geometry. So it actually shows you the curvature of the road. There's little dots.
Oh, that's good.
That shows. So it uses the maps to then show you.
It'll be like playing Gran Turismo, won't it?
So it'll be like playing Gran Turismo. You're like, yes, I can go faster in the bends. Aegeus have been working with Nex, the helmet manufacturer, to help refine the system. Nex CEO, he made a comment that while he was initially sceptical about the system, after trying it, he does think that this is the future and this is the way that in-helmet augmented reality should actually work for bikers, and he hasn't seen anything like it on the market.
Judging by the pictures that we've got in front of us here, it does look like what you think it should look like.
Yes.
You know, you hear about these smart helmets and then you go, it's just a series of wee lights in front of me or whatever, or, you know, or it's not really, this
actually shows up like a HUD right in front of you. Do you know what I mean?
It's like something you'd see in an 80s futuristic cop show. You know,
it is,
but better, obviously, because it's not using 80s technology.
No, totally. Now, MCN had hinted about this coming into production like a couple of years ago, and you know, I mean, it kind of, I think it bypassed everybody. You know, I mean, it's not something I remember reading. Do you know what I mean? Given the fact that we have been doing this for about 2 years now, so I'm glad it's coming. I'm desperate for them to bring it to the UK so we can actually test it, because I think that'll be so much fun. But if you want to see it working, head over to Aegeus Rider. So that's AEGIS Rider.com, and they've got actual videos and all that up online, so you can actually see it working and stuff like that.
Try and put a link in it for YouTube, and this will stick a link in it.
Stick a link in, I'll put it up on the socials and stuff. But the actual bend, the whole road bend thing with the little dots, it is properly like playing Gran Turismo.
Oh, love it.
It's so cool.
Nice.
Very, very good. Very good.
Excellent.
Next up
we've got Suzuki. Again, Cooper Motorcycles. I'm sorry I didn't pop in lads and lassies from there. But
Next time.
They are going to join the EV world. EV is not a wee lassie. EV is not existential vasectomy. It is electric vehicles, of course. So yes,
it's not a Pixar cleaning robot.
No, it's not a Pixar cleaning robot. Looking for a plant. So Suzuki have announced that they plan to unveil 8 EVs by 2030. Obviously, the 2035 is the kind of deadline for nobody to sell, so it kind of makes sense from a timeline perspective. But they're also want to invest in alternative fuels. In the first steps on their green, eco-friendly strategy, the company have announced the first EV will be here in 2024, so not too long to wait, and then a further 7 to follow of the following years. And the first bike will be in the small to medium-sized bracket, as opposed to just being in a small to medium-sized bracket. It's in the small to medium-sized bracket, as opposed to just
bracket, mate.
A bracket. It's just in the bracket, mate. You can't drive it, mate. It's just hanging up the wall in a bracket. So the Japanese company are not shy in hiding the costs and their seriousness to the future. With £12.4 billion in research and development and a further £15.5 billion by 2030, 3.1 billion of that money is going to be used for battery development.
I mean, £3 billion just on battery development.
I know, absolutely.
Mental biscuits.
Yeah, so then hopefully there'll be some good stuff coming out of that, because we know that as we've said, and every time we talk about electric vehicles, get the batteries right, then boom.
Aye, battery distance.
The world's your milk.
Range is the big thing, even when you're caning it, and fast charging.
Yeah,
that's the future, mate.
Company, however, is also looking at alternative fuels. So with synthetic e-fuels for larger bikes being a big one in their focus. Suzuki bosses have said that they're looking at natural gas, biogas, and an ethanol mix as possible carbon neutral options. The ethanol mix is interesting.
That's a drunk fart.
Yeah. It's an interesting one, an ethanol mix, right? Because that's obviously too much vodka, right? Or rather, too many martinis. I was shaken, not stunned. You're a shite for sure eyes. So the ethanol mix is an interesting one, with Triumph looking to roll out E40 for the Moto 2 and E40 and targeting E100 for the future.
The thing is right, you're going to be putting in your tank. One for you, one for me.
How much?
One for you.
One for me. Right? Do people go when it went from E5 to E10? Right?
Oh, imagine E40 is going to
E40 is going to freak people out, and E100 is just like
E100 will just have people queued in for drinking.
The only I was going to say the only thing is a Sucky Hall Street will be empty at night, because they'll all be hanging about the Sainsbury's garage up at the top of Woodside Road or whatever it is. I mean,
just put your kid down there.
Just
and the drink comes out.
But see, before you stick it back in the hole, can I get a drips, pal? Can I get a drips? Can I get what's left in the hose? They probably said that before for money, but not to do that. Anyway, Suzuki GB's director of motorcycles, Dr. Paul de Lusignan.
Oh, well done. That's aye. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it, but it sounds good.
Confirmed that all these things have been worked on, and that the push is for carbon neutrality and zero emissions. Good for you, Suzuki.
Aye, that'll be interesting to see if they actually, what alternative fuels, and just how much of that $3 billion actually makes a difference.
Aye.
It's fine developing the batteries, but they need to sort that.
E100, generally.
E100 is just nuts.
Yeah. What do you fill your bike with? Martinis.
How would you like your
Suzuki GSX Martini?
How would you like your bike filled? Shaken, not stunned. Last up, fancy a tour on a Royal Enfield? Tell me more, he says. For a good few years now, Royal Enfield have partnered with a company called Vintage Rides. They provide motorbike...
That's no the new name for Grab a Granny, right?
In Glasgow. Aye. Wayne, if you're listening. They provide motorbike holidays and tours across the world. Places like France, Argentina, Italy, Morocco, to name a few. Since 2006...
Is that a few? Because you named 4, right? What is the definition of a few?
To name a few.
Name a few. It's a few.
Well, two. If you just said France and Argentina, that'd be a couple.
Yeah, France, Argentina, and Italy. That's a few. But France, Argentina, Italy, and Morocco, is that still a few, or are we bordering on a load?
All right, folks, I'll say that again.
If you have thoughts on the great few debate,
don't tell us.
Just put a few comments in. So fine.
Apparently France, Argentina, Italy and Morocco are to name just a load. Since 2006 they've completed more than 1,000 tours in 20 different countries, and 20 countries is a load.
That is a load of countries.
That is a load of countries.
More than 20 countries, it's a shitload.
It's a shitload. In 2017 they took a group on tour to the frozen lake in Mongolia. Ooh. Which sounds quite good. See, that when I read that, I went, oh, that's exciting. Yes, count me in. They have also extended their partnership with Royal Enfield to 2025. Alexander, who is the founder of Vintage Ride, said, "We are genuinely attached to the values of the Royal Enfield brand, the beauty of the machines and the accessibility of the rides." Just in February this year, they are touring in Rwanda, Sri Lanka, South Africa and India.
I'm amazing.
Any one of them, I would be
absolutely.
I would be astounded and delighted to go on. The prices start, however, at £2,377.
But to be fair, it depends. You know, what I mean, it depends what that includes. You know.
Aye, I think that's everything other than your flight.
Aye, so you know, you pay that for a cruise.
You just need to get your flight to go wherever you want to go. Aye, and
you'd pay that for a cruise, and you're going to have far more fun in that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's not true. There's loads of people that are great fun on a cruise, right? Absolutely. And I've been on a cruise and I enjoyed it, right? But that to me is worth every penny. You know, especially because it should be relatively safe. It's supervised. It'll be locals living there.
However, obviously, it's riding in certain remote countries, there is always an element of risk.
Yes.
However, again, Rwanda, Sri Lanka, Morocco, India, South, any one of those, I'd be absolutely. Argentina as well.
South Africa excites me because of taking them, dropping them off for safaris and stuff like that. It'd be amazing. That'd be so cool.
Again, I'd be. I mean, I wouldn't jump on the bandwagon and go to France. But any of the rest of them, even Italy,
catch a wee rugby game in between.
The Amalfi Coast Ride and all that in Italy would be
nice.
Aye, so much fun. Anyway, there are some amazing tours on their website. Nepal's on there as well now, which I've noticed, which looks just spectacular. Do you know what I mean? But if you're interested, get over, have a look, check it out. It's vintagerides.com. And if anybody picks up and goes on it, let us know. We'll get you on the show and you can tell us all about it.
Yeah, we'd love to get you on, tell us all about it. Yeah, absolutely.
We'll just go, green with envy. Green with envy.
With envy.
Nice. Cool. Anyway, that was... I really need to edit that.
You need to have a. That was
the news. But then I've run out of buttons. Do you mean between rim shots?
Can you split your buttons?
I can add another board in, but it means faffing about with buttons. I just don't have time.
We'll just let people
faff about
every week. Spot the deliberate mistake.
Yes.
There we go. Right. What have we got next?
The big question.
Yes, this is my favourite one. This thing, I think it's going to be.
You think so?
Why?
Right. Okay. Do you want to introduce it then?
So, ladies and gentlemen, picture the scene. You're out riding with a bunch of your mates, and you all stop for lunch at a pub, which is plausible.
Definitely plausible. Absolutely plausible.
Some of the guys have a cheeky wee pint, but especially in Scotland, it's a big N-O-N-O, no. Just say no. Don't say you won't, if you will. No. I'll be back kiss there. But you're too sensible, you know, because you understand, you know, zero tolerance and all that in Scotland especially. Yes. You know, I think it's a wee bit less in England and Northern Ireland and Wales, but
you get a wee bit more.
But anyway, you know, but you're too sensible, and to be fair, it's not worth it, because the last thing you want to do is get pulled over and be told that you can't ride your bike for 18 months or 24 months or whatever.
Aye,
you know, and that's minimum. Worse is you're too worse for wear and something bad happens, right? You don't want that in your conscience at all. So what about your right to work?
Oh, I see.
During the day, a few colleagues say to you, "Oh, we're going out for a cheeky couple of pints after work." They don't ride. They haven't brought their car, you know, or their bike or whatever. What do? Do you say, "Sorry, pal, can't have it, bike"? You've got the bike, you make excuses that you have other plans, and then you suffer from FOMO, fear of missing out, right? Yep. So, you know, or do you say, "Yeah, let's go and drink Diet Cokes all night," you know what I mean? Which just
and get it ripped right out.
Yeah. Well, you know, either of these scenarios nowadays has a pretty decent new option, and that, of course, is the plethora. We're not talking a few, we're talking a load.
A load.
It's
a shitload.
of non-alcoholic beers or zero alcohol beers. Now, although some alcoholic drinks say they don't contain alcohol whatsoever, most actually contain a small amount, so they aren't suitable if you need or want to avoid alcohol completely. However, interesting fact is
Tidbit.
Do you a little bit of tidbit here? Is that what you'll see is, so if we look at one of the alcohol beers, it says that it's got 0.5% alcohol, which seems to be the standard. Yeah,
aye.
But because it's a beer, even though it's an alcohol-free beer or a non-alcoholic beer, they've still got to tell you what the alcohol content is.
Yes.
But a very ripe banana has 0.5% alcohol in it.
Really?
Yes. Or what else was it?
So if I get done for drink driving, I can just go, I was just eating these really ripe bananas.
You know, the example was at 0.5%, right?
Yep.
Is like a tenth of a strong beer. You know? Yeah, but that means that you would have to drink 10 pints of beer to feel in the same space of time that it takes you to drink 1 pint of normal beer.
By which point you're bagged up anyway.
By which point, you know, it's not feasible to be able to put that amount of liquid away.
No.
And then if you want to feel drunk, so say even if you feel tipsy in 3 pints of beer, that's 30 pints of beer of that beer you have to drink within the space of, say, 40 minutes in order to feel tipsy. And by that point, you're not riding your bike because you're floating home anyway. Do you know what I mean? So there's things like that. You know, like there's like a ripe banana already has 0.5%, but because it's not an alcoholic drink, they don't have to even claim it on their labelling, because they're not obliged to put it, but because it's so that's the reason why a lot of these alcohol-free beers have 0.5% or 0.05% whatever it is alcohol in them.
There you go.
There you go. But it's no different from eating certain foods. There you go. Yeah, but just thought throw that one in there for you.
So you pretty much covered like that whole next bit. So you know what I mean? It's literally just that.
Exactly.
Which is quite impressive. I think the only thing I'm going to add to that is just the little bit at the end, which you mean is what you said, that 1 unit of beer is 10 millilitres or 8 grams of pure alcohol, right? And obviously different alcohols and your size and all that affects you in different ways. So it's hard to tell what kind of how you're impacting. So to put it in its what you said, to put it in its technical term, if you imagine a full strength beer, say about 4% of alcohol by volume, or ABV as you'll see it on the labels, that's 2 units of alcohol, right? A single measure, 25 ml, again depending on what pub you're in, some till day thirds, right, of a typical spirit is 1 unit of alcohol. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, as you say, you would need to drink loads to get to 1 unit. To 2 units,
even anywhere close to being over the limit. Yeah.
So there you go. And as you said, alcohol-free drinks don't legally have to specify how much alcohol content's in them, but most tend to do. In my research in some of the supermarkets, etc.
So yeah. So how did you check that, Dan? How did you check all that?
How did I check what?
All these information by reading the label.
Reading the label, and also checking the government's website. The government's website is actually really quite good for that stuff.
Yeah, I
was surprised at.
Here we go. So now I think the question we've got has to be: would you pay extra for a zero alcohol beer rather than a Diet Coke or other fizzy libation? Or other fizzy libations are available, but we're not the BBC, so we can stick with Coke.
We can just do it.
We can get our Coke out and we can be fine with that. So, would you pay extra for a zero alcohol beer? Now, I tend to find that they are cheaper.
Well, they're cheaper than buying a pint of beer.
Absolutely. But they're still more expensive than buying a soft drink. Right?
Aye.
Yeah.
Depends where you go.
Depends where you go, absolutely. But it's discussion time. We've established that we are going to jump into the brave world of non-alcoholic beer, and we're going to do some taste tests. Yeah, which is a phenomenal thing to do on a podcast, right? Absolutely. But it's another reason we've got the video set up so we can give you wee snippets of what the beer bottles look like. You can actually see visually our delight and joy or disgust of what we're about to taste.
We never got a spit bucket.
But we will, but as we say, because it is a podcast, we will describe as much as possible, and then you can watch lots of snippets on the video.
So, first things first, before we do that, I need to get a bottle opener.
You do?
So,
Hod that thing.
Keep everybody entertained.
Well, what I'll do is I'll talk them through the beers that we've got.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
So we've got 5 beers, right, from...
And I'll get a bottle
Go and get your bottle opener. So what we've got at the moment, folks, we've picked 5 beers, right? Very slightly different, you know, so they're all different types of beer, ales and pale ales and some IPAs and stuff like that. So we've got a Brooklyn brewery. So for anyone that knows kind of Brooklyn Lager and Brooklyn Defender IPA and all these kind of drinks, really lovely beers. We've got their version of it, which is called Special Effects, which is classed as a hoppy lager. So for those that understand the ingredient, don't understand the ingredients of beer is essentially got 4 ingredients. It's got water in it, it's got malted barley, it's got hops, and it's got yeast, right? And that's essentially what your beer's made of. You know, you boil all the sugar and all that out of the barley, you stick in your hops, you stick in your yeast, you let it turn into alcohol. So like, if you remember the old Holsten Pills advert where most of the sugar turns to alcohol, so that's essentially what yeast does. It ferments it and turns it to alcohol, and that's it. It's as simple as that. Now these different places do their alcoholic beers differently. I'm not really sure 100% if we know the processes for each of them, but there's a couple of ways they can do the alcohol-free beers. But it's essentially they brew the beer with alcohol in it, and then they take the alcohol out, and how they do that is kind of different ways. So the first one's Brooklyn Brewery Special Effects Hoppy Lager, and then we've got an Erdinger alcohol-free or low alcohol beer, and it's not actually, this is an interesting one, right? This used to be one of my favourite beers, this one, right? Right, the Erdinger one, but my brother ruined it for me, and I'll tell you about it when we're tasting it, right?
Okay.
I want you to taste it and drink it before I tell you how it was ruined for me.
Before you ruin it, right? Okay.
But they actually call it an isotonic drink.
Yes, they do. I noticed that. It's weird.
And when I was in Munich, I did do a beer tour, and they were saying that actually some runners and things like that, when they finish their exercises in Munich, drink alcohol-free Erdinger as their isotonic to get their stuff back in, right? We've got a Doom Bar Zero Amber Ale. Now, I quite like a pint of Doom Bar, right? So I'm quite excited. I've not tasted this one, I've not tried this one, so I'm quite excited about this one. We've got an Adnam's Ghost Ship as well, and I've had Adnam stuff as well, because I think you can get Adnams in Heathrow in one of the bars in Terminal 5. That's a nice pint as well, and I do like a citrus pale ale. That citrus will be...
Well, I thought that, and plus the fact that the bottle looks absolutely
the bottle's
stunning.
A quality bottle. You've got a wee video of that up in the video clips.
Yes.
The citrus pale ale, that's probably using Citra hops, I would imagine. And then last up, we've got the... love them or loathe them. We've got Brewdog, and the first alcohol-free beer was called Nanny State, but that's been out for ages and ages, and I'm sure most people have probably tried it if they've ever. But this is the Punk EF, yes. Right? Which obviously double meaning there. Punk has, yes. but also alcohol-free. Yeah. Yes. So we're going to try the Punk IPA and see how it is as well. So.
Right.
What have we got first there?
First up, we have Brooklyn Brewery.
Brooklyn Brewery in a cheeky wee purple and yellow bottle.
I mean, the bottle's very classic looking, but the labelling's
standard brown bottle to keep the light out, so it's not to
labelling's a lot to be desired.
The labelling looks like a 1970s wallpaper scheme or carpet, doesn't it? I mean, I can see where they're going with, but it's not the most pleasant. And actually, I think you can buy this stuff on tap as well. In some pubs, they've got it on tap. This Special Effects. Brooklyn Dale. Again, that's another one you'll get at Heathrow. Yeah, but they've got the special. They've actually got the alcohol free on tap in a couple of pubs. I think Fox and Hounds do it.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, but and they've got none of that colour in the market and in the bar. So I don't know why they've got it in the bottle when it doesn't.
I don't know.
But anyway, so what type of this is a hoppy.
This is a hoppy lager. Yes, so it's low alcohol. So this is 0.4 ABV. 0.4, and that's in a 300. It comes in a 330ml bottle. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? So it's just a classic little bottle of beer. It's got a really nice colour to it, actually. It's definitely not a lager colour. Yeah. No. It's a bit more.
It's a bit more kind of
a bit more shilling colour.
Yeah, it's definitely kind of a bit like heavy or a bitter or something. Yeah. So,
heavy.
You're heavy, man. You know. I'll put this in front of the. There we go, CCT. There we go. So that gives a nice colour there. So we'll just put this in front of the camera here, and then we've got a wee light behind it just to give you a wee kind of sense of its lovely colour there.
Nice.
Nice. You know. Smells very hoppy. Smells very hoppy.
Cheers, by the way.
Cheers. So here we go. So Slangevar. There we go.
Oh, that's quite refreshing, actually.
Not bad at all. It's hoppy, right?
Aye,
It is very
You
hoppy.
can smell it the minute you lift up
And
your
I
nose.
think probably what the hops is doing is disguising the fact that there's no alcohol kicked to it. You know, so
It's got a wee gassy at the beginning.
yeah. I do find with alcohol-free beers especially, they can be quite kind of fizzy, for want of a better word. I know beers is carbonated, but kind of, it's almost like the bubbles are smaller.
Aye,
You know?
definitely that.
Wee bubbles,
that-
wee bubbles, tiny bubbles. So there we go. But nice, it's a nice. You know, I could sit and drink that.
That's actually that's not unpleasant.
Yeah, the truth I think with I find with any alcohol free beers is you've got to drink them kind of quick. The minute they start to warm up, and you can actually
That's
taste
just
them.
any drink, by the
Yeah,
way. That's just any beer.
But you know, you can
Alcoholic free or
kinda,
not.
you can almost kind of feel the kind of chemical bits in them. But you know, that's nice. That's lovely.
It's almost that. I don't want to say soda stream, but that first mouthful when it goes in,
Yeah.
it's very kind of
Seltzer.
seltzer.
Yeah,
But after that, it's actually quite smooth.
loving the wee mason jars, well played. I like them.
Do you like them?
Yeah, ice cold drink, refreshing. Yeah, that's nice.
Aye, that is quite nice actually. What I never did was take note of the price, but that was like a pack of 4, and I think it was like £3.40 or
think
something.
Most of these can have smaller bottles. That's a 330ml bottle that comes in. The Punk IPA comes in a 330ml can as well. The other bottles are kind of 500ml ones.
Aye, I think that was about £3.40 for a pack of 4,
Aye,
which
which is-
again is cheaper than beer.
Cheaper than beer. And actually,
alcoholic
it's not.
beer.
It's not unless you're buying your Coca-Cola in like a multi-pack deal or something. It's not
Costco.
that, aye, Costco. It's not that different from that, right? Right. Next one up, we've got the Erdinger. Right, this is the Erdinger isotonic drink. Does it actually say beer on it anywhere?
No, it doesn't.
See?
No, it doesn't.
So it's Erdinger alcohol-free or alcohol-free? Alcohol-free?
No, it does say on the back wheat beer.
Wheat beer, there you go.
Wheat
So-
beer contains 0.5 vol. So that's 0.5 alcoholic by value, ABV.
ABV.
And this comes in a 500ml puppy.
500ml bottle, right? Okay. Now
500ml bottle.
this is the drink that my brother ruined for me. Okay, so I actually drank. I was driving around Germany. When I went to Germany, I drove for most of the drive. It's a wheat beer, so you might want to be careful how you pour it a wee angle there.
I know, but that was because I only had one on.
There's one on.
I'll do it better than mine.
Yeah, pour it slow for a wheat beer. Yeah, because that is very fizzy. This is very light in colour. Yeah, you know.
That's one way of putting it. How I would describe it is that looks like a really bad sample.
It's very light in colour. Not just to the wee.
And cloudy.
Yes. Cloudy-ish, but it's not as
No,
cloudy
it's not as
as
cloudy.
a proper
And
wheat
I'd
beer.
imagine if you let it sit, it would probably
There we
settle
go.
a
So
good
just
bit.
give you a wee sense of it, but there's a wee bit of kind of do I have a UTI? Do you know? Do I not have a UTI? It's because the question in that colour there, so you can see that there. There we go.
If you could just go and ding into that cup. So,
If you-
thanks very
I'm a bit
much.
concerned there. It's your annual drugs test. You maybe want to. Yeah. So, this is the.
Doesn't really have
doesn't really have much of a smell. Yeah, I think, to be honest, I think most of the hops I'm getting is just the remnants of that.
Other one.
Other one.
We should have had multiple glasses up.
But I really like that. Yeah, that's very
That doesn't
refreshing.
taste like a beer.
No, I'll tell you what it tastes like, right? And I never realised until my brother said it, right?
Is this where you fucking ruin it for
This
everybody?
is when I ruin it for everybody, right? So, yeah, you're drinking liquid cornflakes. Look at that aftertaste. Get that aftertaste. Liquid cornflakes.
That's exactly what it tastes like.
and I used to drink this. I'd drink this beer and go, this is brilliant, this is really nice. Knock it back, nice ice cold, this is great, it's quite refreshing. And now all I get is liquid cornflakes in the aftertaste.
And see the aftertaste, the longer you leave it, the worse that cornflake taste is.
Yep, liquid cornflakes. There you go. I'll still drink it. I still quite like it. Do you know what I mean? But I will never not think of a wee pint of Kellogg's.
That has ruined it. That has absolutely ruined that.
Yeah, so name check out to my brother David there. Thanks, David, for ruining what used to be a favourite alcohol-free beer for me.
Yeah, well done on that one.
Cheers, mate.
It's actually not. If you cannot think about the cornflakes aftertaste, right? If you were sitting in a beer garden or something, right, and sipping away and drinking that and whatever, and no thinking,
not having a bowl with milk
tastes
beside
like
you.
all the cornflakes. You know what I mean? They're great.
Yeah.
That's frosty.
It's very nice for summer's day. It's really nice.
It's really refreshing.
Yeah.
And for all it's got that fizzy, kind of, you mean tang to it. You mean it definitely a lot of fizz in that. Do you mean you could see it when you poured it? It was just bubbles aplenty, but it's not overly gassy.
Yeah, I think another thing to note on both of these beers is they're quite sweet. You know, because obviously they're fermented and alcohol's taken out, but I don't know if they're fermented for as long or as much, because so they're quite sweet. In comparison to maybe say a wheat beer. I mean, a wheat beer's kind of sweetish, you know, because wheat beer's got a hint of bananas.
But if you're out on a bike and decide to stop for like a wee cheeky pub lunch and you do fancy the taste of a wee light beer, but don't want the alcohol content, that's ideal for a summer's day. That Erdinger is just... I think in a beer garden on a hot day, if you've been riding for a good few hours and you stop
and
for
your breakfast, you're fine. Do you know what I mean? You're absolutely sorted. Kill two birds with one ball. Do you know what I mean?
I wonder if that was on draft, if it would taste the same.
I don't know. That'd be interesting. You can do a tour of the Erdinger Brewery in Munich, so maybe one day, you know. Hey, what have we got next, Dan?
Just mind take your own bottle and spoon with you.
Exactly.
By the way, I'd like to just comment this is the world's biggest bottle opener, because it's supposed to be hanging up there and I can use it, but I'm not going to go up there every 2 minutes to open it.
Right, what have we got next then?
So next up we have Dunbar.
That sounds like that Irish comedy trio, Foil Arms and Hog. Have you seen them?
Oh, aye.
Dunbar.
They're quite good, by the way.
Quite funny, yeah. Absolutely. So watch one of the videos today.
Dunbar Zero. This is an amber beer. This is 0%. So this is one of these ones. There is only, I think this one, and maybe this is the only one that's 0%, and they state on it as 0%. Okay, so this is by Sharps Brewery, and this is in Cornwall.
Yeah, so I think it's is it Green King or one of those breweries that it's that Dunbar's you get. Oh, it's dark.
Oh,
it's dark. There's if that was
because lights went out.
You know, let's have a wee look at this over the light. We'll put the light on again, give you a wee sense of it. You know, well, a nice wee light through it. You know, it's quite nice. You know what I mean? It's quite a nice colour. Maybe a similar colour to like a bourbon whiskey or something like that. Maybe. You know,
aye,
that kind of idea. There you go. There we go. But you got a wee sense of that. So this is an amber pale ale.
That is a nice colour though.
It's amber pale ale. Oh.
Ovaltine.
It's definitely very malty, yeah, very malty, but kind of burnt malt. So they've probably used like a caramel or something in there.
The Ovaltine.
So one of the things that gets beers a dark colour is the type of malt you use.
Yes.
And there's one called a caramel, which is a kind of smoked, almost burnt malt, and depending on how much you use of that, depends how dark your beer gets. The darker the beer, probably the more caramel it is. But of course, with it being quite burnt or toasted, you get quite a toasty taste to it.
I wish you could smell this, listeners. Right?
I know.
All I smell is Ovaltine. That's what it smells like. Horlicks, aye. That's definitely get that.
Here we go.
Let's see what it tastes like.
Do you know, this is a bit... It doesn't have as much flavour as it's got smell.
No. And that's a bit...
It's like a kind of... It's... I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan. You know?
Aye. I think the smell puts you off it.
It does a bit. It's a very heavy, toasted smell.
I'm going to be honest, right, and say it smells...
Go on, say it.
It's like baby sick.
There we go, folks. Dunbar.
Sorry, Dunbar.
Sorry, Dunbar.
Sharp's Brewery, if you're listening, I really. It doesn't taste like that though.
No, it doesn't taste. No, that's true. It doesn't taste like it. Yeah, the taste is lighter than the smell, but because I think the smell's so strong, the taste becomes kind of almost no there.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean?
It's its scent is definitely worse than its taste.
If I bought a pint of no. No. If I bought a pint of that, I'd be back on the Diet Cokes, put it that way.
Aye, I'm always.
That's an interesting thing. Pass the ball over a wee second, just curious, right? So, for those people who are being sensible on the bike, absolutely. But if you are being sensible around the waistband, then this has per 100 mils. Dunbar has 13 calories per 100 mils. 13 calories. So that's pretty decent in terms of keeping you trim as well.
Your Erdinger
I'll pass that one.
is 25 calories per 100.
So that doesn't sound like much until you realise that actually that's 125 calories in that bottle of Erdinger.
Oh, aye, exactly.
You know what I mean?
And it's not that, it's what do you call it? It's that 5.3 grams of carbs.
There you go.
As well.
So you're
per
good.
100.
Per 100.
That is
right.
quite thingy.
And the Brooklyn one?
And the Brooklyn one would be in some sort of funny. It's 29 calories.
But that's only a 330ml bottle. So
that is only 3.
you're having a bottle of that, you're still under 100 calories. But you know, got to remember that there's still going to be reasonable amount of carbs and stuff like that in it. Yeah.
I can taste Horlicks.
Yep. We should have had some mouthwash. Anyway,
I should have brought a dug out and licked its arse. That's outfit.
Oh, there we go. That's it. Yeah, the puppy cleanse. So there we go. Nice. Right, what we've got next? Then we've got this Ghost Ship Citrus Pale Ale. Now, I am going to be full of optimism because I do love a citrus pale ale, right? But Dunbar has rocked me to the core.
Dunbar, I think, mate, it just fucking tainted my glass.
It's rocked me to the core. So
I should have got other glasses.
That's all right.
But
we've committed now, so let's go for it. Right, much lighter in colour, which is nice.
Well, that's a nice golden colour.
It's a nice, it's a lovely golden colour, which is what you want in a pale ale. Absolutely. You know, quite often you can get things that are pale ales, but they're not that pale. Do you know what I mean? So I'll just show you this nice golden colour with a wee light behind it.
That is a really nice colour, actually.
There we go. It's a nice colour as well. So
I'm feeling optimistic on this one.
Nice colour there. You can see that in the camera.
Oh.
Nice. Where's my wee switch to turn it off as I blind myself? Right. So here we go. So that smells more like the kind of beer that you get in a wee pub in Fife, right? Bearing in mind I was in Fife last weekend, so you know, in a wee pub in Fife. Had the drone out as well. I never said that, but I had the drone out and took some nice footage.
Oh, did you?
The wee cottage we stayed at was lovely down in Newborough.
Has it got a bit of Elvis juice about it?
Good do.
I don't mean that as in Elvis's, you know what I mean? But I'm like,
no, I mean as in Brewdog's
Elvis juice.
Let's go for it, shall we? Here we go. So
it's got a grapefruity thing there.
It's quite bitter in comparison to the other two.
Aye.
You know?
It's not exactly riddled with flavour.
No, it's not.
Again, it's one of those ones. The smell gives
smells,
you,
but it's way better than the Dunbar, right? It's way better than that.
Oh, aye. You know what I mean? Fucking Doug's just better than fucking. Sorry, Dunbar, but
aye. What's the calorific value of that one? Just so we can just might as well stick on the health kick as well.
Aye, stick on the health kick. So per 100 millilitres, that is 23 calories and only 4.4 grams of carbohydrates.
There we go. So a bottle of that, and you're still only halfway through your 50 grams for the day of carbs. If you're doing a low carb, high protein diet. There we go. So I quite like it. I actually quite like it. I'd be okay with that sitting with my meal. I'd think I'd have to have it with a meal though. I don't think I could just sit and drink it on its own. It'd be a nice accompaniment with a burger or something like that. But
aye, it definitely needs something else to go with it. I just think it smells. The smell got me excited, and then it was kind of that citrusy almost grapefruity smell just vanished. Do you know what I mean? It's not there on the taste.
But it's not making me go, yeah, the way Dunbar did.
Oh, no. Dunbar just, you know what I mean? Dunbar gave me the boat.
Yeah, no, I could happily drink that if I fancied it. You feel like you're drinking a beer, right? Which is good, yeah. You feel like you're having a wee bit. Oh, your face is gone. The face went. You feel like you're drinking a beer, to be fair, right?
I don't know if that was that or whether there was
a wee bit of Dunbar left.
Aye, there was some flaky bits of Dunbar in the moment.
You'd a wee Dunbar floater. I would go. That's okay. That's nice. Not bad. I would drink that. I would be okay with that. Yep. Last one up is Punk IPA. Now, I think most people have probably had a pint of Punk IPA, right, at some point in time. I know it's got a lot of flavour to it, but it's also quite a strong beer. I think it's about 5.5%, right?
Aye, so Brewdog's are quite.
So you get a wee buzz when you drink a pint of IPA, I find.
I think the lowest one, they did would you call it like a Radler for a while?
They did a lost lager kind of with fruit and that,
and it was lower, but it was still about 3.5 or something.
Aye, 3.7 or something, wasn't it?
Aye.
So yeah, absolutely. I love a Radler as well. A Radler,
aye.
You know, there's you can buy Paulana, which is a Munich beer. Yeah, you can do cans of Paulana Radler, and you can get it in Glasgow. It's only 2.5%, so it's a wee bit of a kind of an alternative, you know.
See, I've had Radler in Berlin.
Yeah,
I went to Berlin, and it was just absolutely dynamite.
Well, next time I'm in the wee shop, I know where I can get it. I'll pick you a couple of cans up. Good.
So
we'll talk about that in a minute.
Before we crack this open, I'm going to say this is per 100 ml. This is 15 calories.
That's not bad.
Right, so this is probably the lowest at the mall.
That would, I think so. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And it's 3 grams of carbs. Again, if you're watching your carb.
But this is Punk. So for those that have had a pint of Punk, it's a strong lager.
And actually looks like a kind of.
Yeah, it just looks like a kind of Punk. Yeah.
Other than alcohol free. Yeah.
And it's a very distinctive beer. The old alcohol free, the old Punk IPA, right? So it'll be interesting to see if this gives you the same beer buzz. It shouldn't, because it's only 0.5. Is that a 0.5er? You know, cool. But they're made. I think it's made with Amarillo hops and a few other.
Amarillo hops.
Amarillo, yeah. Armadillo hops, and is this the way to the Armadillo? That's what you sing when you've got a concert to go to, Glasgow, and.
Yes, it is 0.5, by the way.
So here we go. So let's have a look at this, because very distinct. Should have a very hoppy smell. Lovely colour again. Seems to be. I would say that looks a wee bit lighter.
That's probably the lightest colour at the mall, and it's definitely clearer.
It's clearer than your
cloud.
It's clearer than your sample. Yeah. There we go. There we go. You can see the colours there. It's a good lager colour. Yeah, what you'd expect to see from an IPA.
Oh,
right. Well, it smells like an IPA. It smells like Punk.
It does smell like that.
It smells like Punk.
Smells like what, sorry?
Punk.
Right.
Yeah, Punk, Absolutely. I'm sorry.
Thank God you do have a lisp.
I've got a hair lip.
Smells like...
Right, here we go. That's not bad.
That's all right, by the way.
That's not bad. Now, you know it's alcohol free.
In a clean glass, that would definitely be better.
You know it's alcohol free, to be fair, because you're not getting that wee kind of bit in the back of your throat that is the alcohol.
Yes.
But in terms of a flavour, in terms of if you like a pint of Punk IPA but you're driving, that's a good alternative.
While you're driving like that?
That is a good alternative. That's
flying in the motorway.
That is nice. That is nice.
It's quite nice, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's dead unusual.
And Brewdog have brought out a couple of more. That's kind of reassuring for the other ones, because they've got an Elvis Juice AF out now.
Oh, have they?
Yep.
Yes.
And I think they've got might be a Lost Lager. They do a Lost Lager. I'm not a big fan of a Lost Lager, to be fair. But then I'm not a big fan of lagers in general. So
no.
But the Lost Lager with like guava, the Lost Lager with mango, and the Lost Lager with lime, they're nice. They're quite refreshing. But that's a nice. That
is quite nice.
And that's probably one of the nicest ones. Lowest in calories, lowest in carbs.
For me, it's between that and the Brooklyn.
Yeah. So it's all right.
That is quite nice.
That is nice.
That's the one that tastes more like a beer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? And you're right, it doesn't have that little kick to it, but that's the one that definitely tastes most like a beer.
I think when Brewdog first brought out their this is a bikers show, we're not talking about beers, but Brewdog first brought out their Nanny State, which was the first one. It tasted like a beer, it was like a big strong
man's beer,
and it was like we're putting lots of hops and stuff in it to hide the fact
there's no alcohol.
Aye, but the processes and everything, I think, have become far more sophisticated and allowed for the more subtle flavours. Not that punk's a subtle flavour, but you know what I mean, more subtle in terms of we can make it taste like the beer now without the alcohol, rather than making it taste like put lots of flavours in to hide that there's no alcohol.
Aye, and I mean, if you were to rank them, right?
Yep.
If that was the only 5 beers an option when you we're out a wee Sunday run, gets about 1 o'clock. I could go a wee steak sandwich or a burger or something.
A wee Philly cheese steak.
If you got any alcohol beer, we'll get this 5. And remember, it's a nice hot summer's day. There's a wee beer garden. Fighting with the midges. What one would you go for?
For me, Punk IPA.
I think you're.
I think there's also a fact is that obviously they're a smaller can, so is likely to need a pee as often as well. For obvious reasons. But the Brooklyn was nice as well. It depends what I'm looking for. I think the Brooklyn's
it's a bit too hoppy, I think, for my.
I like that. Yeah.
Aye.
I would be happy with either or.
Aye.
To be honest. Erdinger, I would have said straight away up until my brother ruined it for me. I would take the Erdinger. And
I think the Erdinger, if you were having something to eat
with it,
that was like a red meat or something that had strong flavour to it, then I would. The Erdinger's fine. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean?
And the Erdinger is an isotonic drink, so technically it's a health drink.
Technically, it's a health drink. It's better for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Allegedly. But no, I'm with you. I think definitely the Punk IPA tastes more like a beer, and it doesn't have that. I'm not an overly hoppy guy.
Yeah, I like hoppy beers, but I think for a really hoppy beer, I need that alcohol behind it.
Aye, to take the wee edge off it.
Yeah.
Up.
Go on then. Be careful though, I'm driving. So just the one I'm driving. So I think from a biker's perspective, that if the only thing I will say is that it's getting better.
Oh, it's nicer out of glass.
Aye, it's getting better, but there's very few places do more than maybe 1 or 2 beers alcohol free. You're not going to walk into a place and get a choice of 5.
So I was at a wedding. No, it wasn't a wedding. What am I talking about? I was at I'm going to try the cornflakes again.
Right, go for the cornflakes again.
Because those are the two that look very alike in colour. If you look at them, the only thing is the Erdinger's just a wee touch cloudier.
It's a wee. You're just a couple of days further into your UTI on that one. Do you know what I mean?
Just a wee bit more dehydrated.
Yeah. You got a wee bit more protein in there. You need to get that checked out.
So we digress. It was a 50th I was at not that long ago, believe it or not, and we'd been out the night before, so it was one of those unfortunate weekends where you have a double dunt.
Aye.
And I thought, I'm not drinking 2 nights in the trot. I can't do it. I'm too old. I thought, do you know what, I'll drive. So we got it rolled up, went there, and my plan was to go and drink Diet Coke. And then when we got there, there's a kind of wee display thing for Corona, alcohol free. I thought, I'm gonna give that a go. And actually it was all right. You can tell, all these beers, you can tell it's not got that wee kind of after kick, that wee kind of but again, served with a lime in the bottle and all that, it was actually really pleasant.
Yeah.
Really, really pleasant.
I mean, if you go to the supermarket, there's loads, right? You know,
Yes.
And you know, I think the first few that came out, Nanny State was one. Beck's Blue was one of the first few ones that came out. This is about to run out of charge. That's 10% my wee camera, but that's all right.
Sorry, we're nearly done.
We're nearly done. It's cool. You know, there's been a few that came out. So there's loads of your Birra Moretti does one and all that kind of stuff, and they all have that. They're very similar to the other thing. They've got a wee kind of malty aftertaste and everything, but they're good, yeah. So they're quite good.
As opposed to cornflakes
aftertaste, yeah. So you know, but you don't tend to get that level of selection in a place. So you know, I think they all do taste like you've had a beer in some.
Aye, there's
way.
definitely that kind of.
But I would steer towards the more, for want of a better word, bland ones. I'd go for the alcohol-free lagers and the alcohol-free pale beers or light beers. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Rather than that. So
Rather than Dunbar. Sorry, Dunbar.
Sorry.
Yes, definitely. That's definitely no. It's one of those ones. I think I'm seeing you having done it. I say done it, but having hit a couple at a 50th, and then I was obviously talking about it and doing a bit of research and all that kind of stuff into this. I think it's one of those ones. I'd be more inclined to actually go and say, yeah, I'm going to have a wee cheeky alcohol-free one. Just because because
you can.
Aye, totally. Just because we can. So there you go.
I'll just
aye. Each to their own, no. And as I say, if you get any doubt or you're susceptible to even low content alcohol, just don't risk it.
Yeah, no, I mean, but the point is, it's just, you know, as we said, it's no any different from having a ripe banana. Banana.
I didn't know that. That's the biggest takeout from this whole thing. Other than the fact that Erdinger tastes like cornflakes, you know what I mean, or a bowl of watered down cornflakes. That's the biggest takeout, is that ripe bananas got the same alcohol content as like a can of punk IPA.
I'm trying to put myself back on the camera here, just a wee bit. There we go, that'll do. There we go. Just in case that one runs out and
just in case it dies.
Just in case it dies.
So there you go. That was kind of a big question, which is nothing to do with biking, but technically, actually kind of has.
But it's to do with part of the biking experience, yeah. So you rock up. I definitely think your alcohol-free stuff is better now than it has been, you know, in the past. You know,
yes.
I remember years and years ago there was some St. John's Bishop, something like that, right? It was, you know, the comedian guy, but you know what I mean? But it was like, and it was like the most vile.
It was just
it made Dunbar, right? It made Dunbar sound like a blooming Michelin star drink. Do you know what I mean? So, that's my plan. My SD card's filled up. There you go.
Is that what it is? SD card is
just fill up, and I'm about to run out of charge. But I'm on this one now, so that's fine. I can swap them around.
Happy days.
As
long as we get snippets.
Bits and bobs. Anyway, so that's so I think what we're trying to say is, as we witter on in our usual way, is that if you fancy a beer, you can now enjoy a pretty decent flavour of beer.
Yes, I think it'd be interesting. The next thing is we'll need to get out a run and stop somewhere and see
the one that I
what's
do want
available.
To try, and it's really hard to get hold of just now, is the Guinness 0%.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so it's there's a big push for it. If anybody
I never even saw that. I never even saw that in the supermarket either.
It's dead hard to find, right? But they've got it in a lot of bars. They're punting into all the bars just now. And Guinness have got this thing where it's like, you think you put the can in and it's like a kind of, almost like a kind of, the can pours like draft. Certainly, you know, and it's a big push at the rugby. So the Guinness Six Nations, you'll see the Guinness 0% all over the place.
Yep.
But it's still not everywhere just now. That's the one I really want to try. So if we do go for a run, we'll try and do a research and see if the pub we go to
has got Guinness
0%.
And I've not Guinness in donkey's years.
Yeah, I've had quite a lot of Guinness recently.
Aye, well, you know, kind of the perk of your brother staying on the Emerald Isle.
Exactly. That is nice, that punk IP.
I know. I'll send you home a couple of cans.
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm comfortable with that.
Do you know what I mean?
Nice. There we go.
There you go. Episode 22.
So let's just very quickly mark them out of 5 then, right? Nice and quick.
Okay. Out of 5.
Yep, out of 5. Okay. So first up, Brooklyn Brewery. Out of 5?
4.
4. I'll give it a 3.5. Okay. Next is the Erdinger low alcohol isotonic cornflake drink.
3.
Yep, I'll give it 3 as well. I was going to go for 3.
Aye.
Doombar Zero Amber Ale gets 0. 1. It'd have to be 1.
It has to be a 1. Aye. It's 1 to 5, so it has to be a 1.
Adnam Ghost Chip Citrus Pale Ale.
It's a 2. It's a
2.5. I'd go 2.5. Maybe push it to 3. Then last up, Brewdog Punk IPA alcohol free.
I'll give that I'd give that a 4. Maybe even a 4.5.
I'm going to give it a 4. Yeah, I'm giving it a 4. Yep.
Aye, it was quite thingy. And again, the only reason I said the Ghost Ship was a 2 is because it's not as rancid as the Doombar.
Aye.
I mean, it is drinkable.
But it's very hoppy.
But it was more of a letdown because you can smell the citrus in it. You go, you can smell the grapefruit and all that kind of stuff, and then it doesn't really taste of that.
Aye.
It just isn't really
But
got taste.
I would pick it if it was my only option. I would do it. If Doombar was my only option, I'd get myself a soda water and lime.
Aye, or just a soda water.
Just a soda water. Yeah,
forget lime, just a soda water.
Yeah.
I've had a sucking ice cube.
Aye, exactly. Tap water's fine. Thanks very much.
Whose dog's this? Whose dog's this?
But so advice is if you're out for a ride and there's a few 0% you want to try them, go for the more lager type ones than the more because if you are a beer drinker and you like your pale ales and your hoppy stuff and everything, you're going to be disappointed. They're not that.
You're going to be really disappointed. Aye.
If however you love having breakfast in the afternoon, get yourself a bottle of Erdinger. Do you know what I mean?
If you've been out a run, as in a jog,
if you've been out a jog
and you want a bowl of cornflakes liquefied, get yourself an Erdinger.
Yeah, absolutely.
If there's any out there that you have tried that we don't know about or we haven't looked at, because we literally just went in and did a bit of research and then went to supermarket, went right, what ones look good, what ones, and tried to get a mixed vary of a kind of citrus ale, an IPA, a lager,
ones and a couple that we know, maybe other beers from the range, do you know, just to kind of compare them with.
Aye, just to drink as a gauge. So if there's any out there that you have tried that you want us to try and say, no, actually you should try this, it really does taste, then give us a shout, drop us a message, all the usual stuff, and we will endeavour to find it and try it.
Yes, indeed, we shall imbibe for your delight. Yes.
And if anyone's tried Guinness Zero and knows where to get it, give us a shout.
Give us a shout, absolutely, we'll give it a go.
Especially if it's in a pub somewhere.
For the next podcast, we'll discuss how long it took us before we need to go for a pee.
Yes. That'll not belong. I mean,
I can feel myself tingling already. So,
and in that bombshell, episode 32 done.
It's been finished. It's been a bit of a schwally.
A bit of shesh.
Sherpy, I love you.
Definitely not a normal biking chat, but I do think that was quite worthwhile. Having that discussion
coming into the season, it gives you something else to just maybe consider when you're.
Again, knowing that there's an option like the Punk IPA, alcohol free, knowing that's out there, is actually
and I've seen that in a lot more pubs than I've seen the other stuff.
Yes,
Erdinger's not. I've seen Erdinger in a lot of pubs. I've seen Punk
next to the Continental Breakfast.
I've seen that next day. So I've seen some liquid Weetabix in the pubs. I've seen some Punk is AF. Nanny States still in a lot of pubs as well. But that's Nanny States closer to your Brooklyn.
Is it?
And all that. It's definitely more of an ale than a kind of lagery type thing, you know. So there we go. That's it. So there's plenty of options there if you like a wee beer but don't want to have the fear.
Don't want to risk it. No,
if you like the beer but don't want the fear. There we go. Then there's options out there that are very, very palatable. Thank you.
That was quite good. I'll give you that.
Thank you.
If I knew what one was the pause button, I'd hit it. But
I can't mind. I know White was a cheer, but there you go. So there we go. So episode 32 has been polished off.
What we got coming up? We've obviously got the adventure. I've got the adventure
day coming up
this week. I want to get in. We're going to arrange a date to go down to the guys at West Coast Triumph.
Yep.
To have a little interview with those guys, same as we did before with the guys for Harley. We're going to talk to the boys who are specific for Triumph, Ed and Si and the guys, which will be quite interesting. Ed's a really interesting guy.
Drop a few hints about Spice Girls.
Spice Girls. And then also, I need to go down and see the chaps at Ducati.
Yes.
And go down and have a chat with those guys, especially with the Diavo V4 just being launched and a whole reek of stuff.
Yeah.
I'd like to go down and have a chat with those guys. And I know we keep saying it, but I am definitely going to make an effort to go down and see those guys, hopefully this weekend.
Cool. Nice one.
While the sun's out and stuff. And then there'll probably be a whole plethora of other stuff coming up. The motorbike show. I know this weekend or last weekend was a motorbike show at the XL, which we were going to try and get to, but when we looked at flights, it was just silly.
Yeah, and I suspect it would be very similar to Birmingham.
Aye, absolutely. Do you know what I mean? There might have been a couple of wee differences, but nothing major. Based on what videos I've seen so far, it had a lot of the same stuff at it. The same people, you know, I mean, hovering about the Ducati stand and all that stuff.
Aye.
So the motorbike show, the Scottish motorbike show is back at Ingliston. I think early March.
It is March, isn't it? So early March. So we'll maybe try and get along to that, because we can just nip along the motorway.
It's literally on the motorway. We just need to time it and see when the dates are.
And the weather.
Yes, and the weather. Because I've got a funny feeling the Sunday's out. Because my youngest daughter is in the national finals for
the bowls. Nice, lovely.
Which is cool. I think that's the Sunday, but we could always nip through on the Saturday with a wee jolly time permit and all that jazz.
We'll bring the cameras and see what we can get. Cool.
So there's a lot of stuff going on, and then obviously that's the start of the season kicking off.
Yep.
So we'll hopefully get some runs and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah, West Coast will be back with the bike nights, I think.
Bike nights will be kicking back off, all that kind of good stuff.
All the kind of rides out and things like that the guys do.
Yes. Fun and games. So
I know that West Coast Harley have got a few new demonstrators in. They've got a breakout in. They've got a.
Have you seen it?
The Baja Orange.
Have you seen the new breakout?
The new breakout. Aye.
The new breakout is absolutely beautiful. By the way, I'll give them their due. That's a nice looking bike.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Really nice looking bike. I think the Baja, I'm a big fan of Baja Orange.
Yeah, I like it too.
My bike is Baja Orange. However, I know they get one in today, which is
gliding.
All Baja Orange.
I saw that on the socials.
A bit too much.
I'd like to see it in the flesh.
It's like a Satsuma,
but it is a bit like Satsuma. Yeah, exactly.
A lot of orange. Yeah. But we'll see what it looks like up close and personal.
Yes, indeed.
If you guys want to reach out and get in contact with us, you can do through our usual methods and modes and all that good stuff.
Instagram, Facebook, all the usual stuff.
All the usual stuff.
Yep.
You can email us at averagebreakersinacave@outlook.com. DM us, whatever it is. You mean we're always there and about, and we can reply or take note or investigate whatever it is you guys want to talk about. Thanks for listening, as always.
Absolutely, yeah. Again, if somebody wants you to download us, then we'll upload our patter for you.
Bad patter.
A bad patter.
Our garbage speak.
Our garbage nonsense.
On low alcoholic cornflake juice.
Absolutely. Yep, you'll be looking forward to your North Coast 500 trips later on in the year. So
buzzing. Cannot wait.
That'll be good. I've been watching a few videos from the Tour of Scotland stuff from Teapot One.
Yeah. Again, you mean because we're doing the tour with Bruce Chicken Strips, Teapot One. Get over and check out his Flying Scotsman tour. That's the one I'm doing this year with him and a whole group of other like-minded idiots. So it'll be good fun.
If we find out more details about where and when you're going to be in different places, maybe if you're out and about the bikes,
can I tell you that?
Fly around.
It's top secret.
Fly around, say hello to us.
Top secret.
Hello to you.
It's top secret.
Top secret.
Although if you watch these videos, you can probably plot it out.
Pretty much.
Where you're going to be.
Isn't that lovely? See that run after the Applecross bit when they went run through Lochingbourne? Lochingbourne, it just looked...
honestly, even the East Coast, which was the bit I was always going to go east to west when I did the North Coast 500, because to me the East, and no disrespect, it seems the more boring part, because I think the scenery on the West Coast is just phenomenal.
Yeah.
However, having watched it going from east to west the way they're doing it and cutting across some of the things, I think the roads are far more enjoyable, because I think you can get a right good
the roads that I was driving through in Fife, last weekend. You know, when we were jumping from Newborough, which is kind of near the kind of Perth end, you know, just on the border with Perth and Kinross, and we would go right all the way through and up to Anstruther for our fish and chips.
Cracking fish and chips.
You know, some of the roads there were great fun, lovely. I mean, you're right, there's no big mountains and loads of green hills on them, but there's lovely flat but sweeping bends and curves. And
that's what I think the East Coast's definitely going to give.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think there's a lot more of that kind of, not high speed, but you know what I mean, you can, there's a lot more long sweeping corners and it'll be interesting, it'll be good fun. You know what I mean? Can't wait. You know what I mean? Roll on, as long as the weather's nice.
Aye.
I'm going to need to start ordering bits as well.
Aye.
Dry bag and all that kind of good funky stuff.
10-foot pole for your Insta 360.
10-foot pole for my Insta 360. Hey guys, get a shot. Do you know the only reason I'm thinking that is because it's probably easier than taking the drone.
Aye.
Do you know what I mean? Because you could literally just put it up and hang it over things. There's certain places like Eland Donnan and that you can't put a drone up. You don't let put a drone up.
You know?
No. So you pull into the car parky bit just before Eland Donnan, there's a big sign, no drones. So you then going to need to go around the other side.
And you've got to be careful with that because, I mean, check it out. If you've got a drone, check it out, because just because they've put a no drone sign up doesn't mean you can't fly a drone there, right? All they're saying is you can't take off from there. Yeah, they don't actually own the sky. Yeah, so if
you don't own the sky, by the way.
So you know, there's bylaws to say you cannot take off. You need permission from where you take off from. Yeah,
yes.
That's what they're basically saying is, you know, so you could go further up the loch and take your drone off from further up, fly it across in video. But the whole point is you want to be in the shot, you want the bikes and all that kind of stuff.
Aye.
So, the last time I was at Beatley and Donner was 2015, and there was a guy flying a drone there. But it was way before they get all. I don't know why some people are so anti-drone about these kind of things. You know what I mean? But then that's another podcast.
That's a whole other show.
Yeah, and a whole other show. And there's thousands of videos out there on YouTube if you want to watch and try and get things. You know.
Oh. The one thing I will say about Erdinger, the return on the Erdinger's quite nice.
It's like having your breakfast twice. And, it's good. You know, it's a Hobbit beer. It's your second breakfast. Do you know what I mean? That's it. Wait till it goes through your whole system and it becomes Lord of the Rings. Do you know what I mean?
I know that's what that Doom bar is.
I know that's never again. There we go.
But there you go.
There we go. So thank you very much, folks, for listening. We'd really appreciate everyone tuning in and downloading us and listening and taking stuff and just enjoying it. You know, for the guys that were asking us when we were recording, well, that's us done it now. So we'll be getting out very soon. That was lovely to hear back from that, folks. So again, please stay in touch. You know, the usual channels. It is always a pleasure to just sit down and just chat nonsense about anything. Really.
That's
that the next thing. So
we need to try and get more guests on. Because we need to get some guests on.
Yeah. I think we know what we're doing now, so we'll maybe.
I just need to start bombarding people. Gonna come on my show.
Absolutely. I'd love to try and get a hold of some of the American guys and girls that I watch. So just drop messages and just see if they're free. It'd be quite cool, you know.
Go for it.
I've started watching a guy, the Bikes and Beards channel. Have you watched that?
No.
So it's two guys, and they've currently got 2 Harley Davidson police bikes that they've bought.
All right.
And one is fitting 3 turbochargers to it, and the other one's 3. And the other one's fitting a NOS kit to it. Jeez. To see if they can up the brake horsepower to over 150 brake horsepower or something on an old Harley Davidson police bike. So
that's nuts.
Halfway through it, we've been watching them try to fit it all, try to put the turbochargers in and everything.
Well, I'd like to get username Kate on because she's. I mean, I've watched her stuff for a long time, and she's done a bit of stuff at Triumph and stuff like that. So she's done her IEM quite recently and stuff like that. So I quite like that, and obviously Richie Vida.
Aye,
because Richie's just he's level of photography and all that. It's just stunning. Do you know what I mean?
I watched I watched a few things, but he was in Aaron for a wee while, which is
that's right.
That was really good. That'd be nice to speak to him. Yeah, cool.
So we'll keep pestering people.
Absolutely.
And hopefully there you go. If MD knows of anyone that they want to try and get on the show, then let us know.
Yep. That's it. Battery low.
There we go.
All right. That's we don't plug it in. Cool.
Until next time, remember, these are just the opinions of a couple of average bikers.
And remember that only a biker knows why a dog hangs its head out the window. Oh.
The Diamond Dogs have struck again.
Yeah.